and a heartfelt namaste. I, Anuradha, would like to thank all of you for liking, sharing, and subscribing our YouTube and Spotify channels. We have made a video on Rahu and Saturn, and we received many requests for a video on Ketu and Saturn. So this video is dedicated to all those viewers, all the subscribers who wanted a video on Ketu and Saturn. When we talk about Ketu and Saturn, it can appear that it is a little disheartening for all of us. Reason being that, as we all know, Saturn talks about contracts. It sets boundaries wherever it is placed and thus creates certain amount of squeezing or letting go of things. Saturn is the planet that tells us about what we have to do, what are the debts that we need to repay to return to people, and have to work hard in those areas of life. Saturn, as it works our karma out, also shows us the value, the importance of detachment. And Saturn, while showing us the importance of detachment, while helping us to repay our karma to others, also leads us towards spirituality. And Saturn, because it walks very slowly, it is also called the Shene walk. That means a very slow walking method. So whatever results that Saturn gives us is on a long-term basis. It never gives us results on short-term basis. We think and it's generally taken as a fact that Saturn does not give good results. But Saturn is capable of giving very good results. Its only demand being hard work. Let's talk about Ketu. Ketu is a planet of spirituality. Uttar Kalamrita very categorically states that Ketu gives us spirituality. Ketu gets exalted in, or Ketu is most comfortable in the 12th house of the natural zodiac, the house of letting go, the house of spirituality, Pisces. And Ketu gets exalted in the 9th house of the natural zodiac, the house of Jupiter. Both of these are houses of Jupiter which lead us towards knowledge and spirituality. Ketu causes depression also. Why so? Because Ketu gives an internal movement, inward journey. And when a person moves inward, a person is likely to cut off from many people in life. Therefore, it is capable of giving depression. Otherwise, it can lead you to enlightenment. Ketu is also the inlet of Karmakarka. Having read all these things, having understood all these things, one might feel or may feel afraid that Ketu and Saturn combination may not be a good combination after all, like the materialistic combination of Rahu and Saturn. Because Rahu Saturn, as we've seen in one of a previous video, is capable of giving a lot of materialistic gain, a lot of power, and it can also help us serve the masses in general. Can Saturn and Ketu take a same stand? Well, each planet is different. So every combination will definitely come out with a different flavor and a color. And we see that Rahu is more of an outward planet, whereas Ketu is more of an inward planet. So the journey with Ketu and Saturn is more inward, more understanding your duties, more understanding of your karma and living them out without condition. That is the main thing that comes across with Saturn and Ketu. It detaches you from the world as such. It can make you a loner. It can make you an extremely spiritual person. It can take you to the heights of depression also if this energy is not properly utilized. But does that mean that for a person who has a Saturn-Ketu combination in his or her chart would never be able to get anything materialistic out of life? I don't think so. Because we will be seeing examples where we would be understanding that these planets are capable of giving so much more. And how so also? But the condition here is the person cannot expect or should not be laying down conditions for return of the labor put in, for return of the emotion put in, because then that Ketu and Rahu, that Ketu and Saturn is not going to make you happy. It is not going to take you towards a very materialistic way. The very thing Ketu and Saturn tell us is work hard, work beautifully, and work without any expectations. When you do so, and when you make an inward journey, when you realize the importance of detachment, paradoxically, Saturn and Ketu then makes one very famous, takes them to great heights. In fact, these heights would not be experienced by general people as such. And if you have that combination in your chart, that at some time it can be a blessing also, because it can take you to a immemorable height of, and can make you different from most others. Let us see how it works in the charts, because that is a very strong case that we see happening in the chart of Isaac Newton. In the case of Isaac Newton, we see that it is in the sixth house itself. Sixth house, as we all know, is the house of hard work, and Saturn is the Karaka of the sixth house. And this Saturn with Ketu is sitting in the sign of Pisces. Ketu is very happy in the sign of Pisces. Isaac Newton, as we all know, was famous for his Newton's laws. And he, if we read about him, if we understand about him, we see that because of his inventions, because of his discoveries, he moved more and more away from people and started being more and more involved in his own research, to the point that he really did not have much contact with the outside world except a few friends. Yes, he was very popular. It was after his laws were discovered, relentless work that he did, that he became extremely popular. And this can also give people a movement away from their spouse. So that is also seen, that it can create differences with the spouse. It can create differences wherever it is sitting. So in the sixth house, it also gave him formidable enemies. However, he was able to combat with them. That Saturn gives him the ability to combat with such people. We must remember that if we do not work out this Saturn Ketu combination energies, they can be very detrimental for our health. In fact, Isaac Newton was so shy, or was so involved with his work, that he did not have any relationship at all, and that was proven after he died during his autopsy. We move on to the chart of Edward VIII. Edward VIII is best known as the king who abdicated the throne after 1 year of ascension. And why did he abdicate the throne? Because he was very much in love with a lady who at that time could not be accepted as his queen, because she was twice divorced. So he let go of the throne. Very beautifully, if we see that Saturn is placed in the sixth house of the natural zodiac, again, it becomes a Karaka there. But it is the ninth house for Edward VIII. And ninth house shows Bhagya of marriage. Ninth house also shows traditions. He moved away from traditions because he wanted to be with the person he loved. And for that, we see, as we see, that it can also take you away from the limelight. However, is Isaac Newton or is Edward VIII, have they been forgotten by people? No. They are glaring examples in society what people can do in the direst of circumstances, and being a very hard worker, or for that matter, what people can do in love. Here we see, in case of Isaac Newton, the combination being in the sixth house, which is the house of work. In the ninth house, this is the house of principles. It is the house of you're taking stand, doing what is right by you. And Edward VIII realized that he had to do something right for his own life, or for that matter, the love of his life. Do nakshatras matter? As always, yes, they do matter. Ketu is for Edward VIII in the Hasta nakshatra, whereas Saturn again is also in Hasta nakshatra, proving that he decided that he was the maker of his own destiny, that he did not have competition. The throne was not a competition he had to fight for. He could easily abdicate it, which he would then go to his younger brother, and that made him famous too. For Isaac Newton, Ketu here is in the sign of Revati and Saturn too happens to be in the Purva Bhadra Nakshatra. Purva Bhadra Nakshatra says that one needs to learn to work in any given circumstances, and Ketu in the Pisces and at right in Revati makes him a very gentle person, a very gentle teacher, person who is extremely skilled and willing to let go of many things, things to become more skillful. The last case of a very well-known personality in today's day and time is Rajnikant. We know Rajnikant as one of the most famous actors of India, and we have to know that he's also a very humble person. What most of us are not aware of is Rajnikant is extremely spiritual a person. He makes regular surgeons, or rather used to make regular surgeons in the Himalayas, and would come across many saints and many of the rishis, or many of the people that do find mentioned here and there in various texts or various blogs. So if we realize that his Ketu and Saturn are again both posited in the sign of Virgo, and Ketu is in Uttara Ashara Nakshatra, whereas Saturn also is in Uttara Ashara Nakshatra, he's always known to stand and do what is correct, known to fulfill his duties, known to remain humble and help others as much as we can without much expectation. So we see that Ketu and Saturn, when placed wherever they are placed, however they are placed, if we work out our karma without much expectations from others, then we do rise up in life, we do reach a good place in life. The keyword here is without expectation. And if we do not work out these expectations, we are not able to come out of the state of depression or an abject state of helplessness, then we would have to come back again, live this time and time again. So it is upon us to decide whether we can brave it in this lifetime, or do we take an easy way out and make things harder in the next round. Till we meet again, stay safe. Thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.